Hello everyone, welcome back to this new video. In this video, I am going to tell you top 5 tips to speak English fast and how to speak English like a native English. So watch this video till the end. If you are learning like a native speaker, then watch this video till the end. If you are new on this channel, then subscribe this channel to see more videos like this. So let's get started. So guys, first of all, we have to learn how to speak English. So this is very common question, but most important question here, how to speak English like a native. Okay, so here are 5 tips so you can understand these 5 tips. So let's see. First of all, our first tip is that is learn common phrases and idioms. Learn common phrases and idioms. That is basic thing here. Okay, so you can easily speak like a native speakers. So common phrases and idioms. Okay, idioms and common phrases are often used by native speakers in everyday, okay, everyday conversations, and learning and using them can make your speak sound more natural. Okay, for example, instead of saying I don't understand. You can say, it's Greek to me. It's Greek to me. Okay. English idiom. Okay, guys. English idiom. Next example here. Instead of that's difficult. Okay. You might say, it's like finding a needle in a haystack. Okay. So let's see again. First thing is learn common phrases and idioms. Okay, common idioms or phrases are often used by native English speakers everyday conversation. Okay, learning and using them, you can make your speech more natural. Okay, for example, instead of saying I don't understand, you can say it's Greek to me as an English idiom. Okay, and next example here, that's difficult, you might say it's like finding a needle in a stacks. Okay, so let's see next tip. Our next tip is pay attention to pronunciation and intonation. Okay, pay attention to pronunciation and intonation. Mimicking the pronunciation and intonation patterns of native speakers can make help you sound more them like. Okay, listen carefully how to words are pronounced and how sentence rise and fall in pitch. Okay, for instance, you can say, instead of saying I am going to store, instead of saying I am going to store, you can, native English native speakers might say I am going to store. Okay, I am going to store. Okay, with reduced am and going. Okay, with reduced am and going, that is very important thing. Okay, I hope you know the construction forms of HB verbs and more type buts. So this is very important concept here, constructions. Okay, so constructions means reduced, reducing the words. Okay, like going, like going. Okay, you can say gonna, going to, you can say gonna. Okay, that is confirmation form. Going to, confirmation form is gonna. Okay, so pay attention pronunciation, intonation, making the pronunciation and intonation patterns of native speakers can make help you sound more like them. Okay, and listen carefully how to words are pronounced and how to sentence rise in failing place. For instance, instead of saying I am going to store, native speakers might say I am going to the store. Okay, So let's move on our third tip. Third tip is use contractions and reductions. Use contractions and reductions. Okay. Native speakers often use contractions and reductions in informal speech. Okay. Not formal speech. Only for informal speech. Okay. Using them can make your speech sound more natural and fluent. That is very easy concept here. Okay, like I am becomes I am, contraction form is I am, I will becomes I'll. Okay, I do not becomes don't. Okay, I hope you guys you understand what is contraction form. Contraction form means reducing the words at the end of the words. Okay, so you can reduce words, so it can be like I will becomes I'll. Okay, I'll. Okay, and you know, going to becomes gonna. Okay, gonna. Okay, so that is contraction form here. So you can use contractions and reductions. So let's see our next tip. Next, fourth tip is learn slang and informal expressions. You learn slang and informal expressions. Okay, like native English speakers. Okay, guys, slangs and informal expressions are commonly used in casual conversations among native speakers. Learning and using them appropriately can help you blend in. Okay, for example, instead of that's cool, you might say that's lit. Modern slang here. That's lit, it's a modern slang and it's a old slang. That's cool. Okay, this is very easy concept here. You learn slang and informal expressions. Informal, for informal you can use contractions like these type, and modern slangs, that's elite, it's a modern slang here. So you can use these type slangs, and I will give you that's slangs and informal expressions list. So, but you understand what is this. Okay, so let's move our next step. Our next step is practice listening and speaking regularly. Practice listening and speaking regularly. Okay, explore to native speakers through listening to podcasts, watching movies, or engaging in conversation can greatly improve your language skills. Okay, to imitate what you are here and practice speaking regularly to gain confidence and fluency. Okay, as you know, without practice you can't speak English fast. Okay, so you have to do more and more practice of speaking. Okay, whatever your language you wanna speak, you do practice more and more. So listening practice, so I tell you a basic concept. If you wanna speak English, then you have to listen more and more. You have to listen more and more. Okay, if you wanna write English, and and other language, if you wanna write, then you have to read more and more. Okay, that is very common concept here. So if you want to speak, you have to listen more and more. If you want to write anything, you have to read more and more. Okay, I hope you guys you understand these 5 tips, so you can speak like a native English speakers. So if you have any kind of doubt, please write in the comment box, and see you in my next video very soon.